Highlights, inspirational stories, game breakdowns. We have it all on this week's Flames Central. Welcome on into our studios. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Warner, still alongside Emily Austin for one more week.
How could I miss a Flames Central? We'll talk about priorities. Hey, we're really excited to share our story about Liberty defensive back Christian Bodnar in just a bit. But first, we look back to Liberty's Week 2 game at Jacksonville State.
Yeah, conference play already for the Flames and a big test in their opponent, a road matchup with defending champ Jauch State. And I'll tell you, didn't look great early on. Couple minutes into this ball game, Vasko gets hit. Ball comes free. Jauch State's Miles Butler recovers it, and the Gamecocks would go on to score just a couple of plays later, made it 7-0 home team. But the Flames would strike back in a big way. Vasko finds Julian Gray down the sideline. 72 yards to the host would tie this game up at 7-all. Now, Jauch State's run game was fueled by Cam Cook. He had 195 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. This one put the Gamecocks on top 14-7 before a rain delay that delayed the game for an hour and 21 minutes. Fast forward to the third quarter now, the kitchen, it's open, and he's cooking again. Cook takes it into the end zone, 338 rush yards for Jauch State in this ballgame. Flames desperate for a comeback in the fourth, trailing 24-10. Evan Dickens, might he be the solution? 52 yards for the score, LU within 7. Jauch State responded with their own touchdown, and even with a Vasko to Dante Lee Jr. touchdown midway through the fourth, the Flames just wouldn't have enough. Despite over 500 yards of total offense, Liberty comes up short. Jauch State takes it with a final score of 34-24.
Just disappointing. I give a lot of credit to Jacksonville State. They played hard. They got some good play. Running back's a great, really good player. And we couldn't tackle him. We struggled to do that. But we had some opportunities in this game to win it, but unfortunately didn't. So it gives us an opportunity to regroup and go back to work this coming week.
All right, a frustrating loss for the Flames, but you know what can lift the spirits of Flames Nation? Jauch Talk.
Let's go.
Jauch Talk can do it. Joe Jauch here. He's got a new toy this week, the Telestrator. He's going to break down a couple of key plays and why you feel like the Flames are close to turning the corner.
Flames Nation, there is no need whatsoever to press the panic button because you always look at what are we capable of.
Yeah.
And this team has showed both on defense and offense, they are very capable of making the plays. So you just got to put on a positive play and then do it every single
Consistency.
down.
Let's start on the defensive side of the ball here. A play early in this ball game. Talk us through it.
All right, so you take a look at these three guys. This is a great indication of how to play defense to the front side, and then on the back side, you clean up everything.
This is gap control on the defensive line is what you're looking for.
This is gap control. You'll see all the gaps are taken right here, and then on the back side right here, it pops out, and the quarterback pops out to the backside, and then boom, he's on the ground, lost. So this is exactly how you play good fundamental defense.
Take a look at it right here. You see him starts one way, they force him to reverse field, and there's a Corey Jones just waiting to clean up the mess.
There you go. You stay consistent on the backside, take care of your front side gap control, and then boom, he pops back out. He's on the ground, no gain. That's how you play defense. You just do it every down.
All right, that was defensively. Some good things on the offensive side of the ball as well. Over 500 total yards in this game.
Yeah.
You want to highlight a run by Evan Dickens.
I mean, you take a look at this. This right here is look at the big man.
Yeah.
51, DJ Geth, and you start looking. There's a handoff right there. You're going to get a crack here, a crack there, and then the big man is pulling, and he's leading the way as the ball carrier comes out the side, and there's your lead blocker right there. And then watch, right when you get up in this area, watch the big man. Watch the big man clean it up.
Okay, you got a little sloppy there with the handwriting. That's all right. We'll get the point. Watch 51.
51.
Leading the way.
There he goes.
Seeking out a defensive back.
Scooby snack. That's a Scooby snack. And now watch, hype train. Get on the hype train. Get on board. Baby, that's all you got to do. One play after another. Make great plays happen. Put it all together. And all of a sudden, you find yourself winning ball.
It's as easy as that, and Evan Dickens has been fantastic so far. So, as we flip it forward, can they do that against Bowling Green? Quickly, your keys to the game as they go on the road.
Yeah, I think the two keys end up in down yardage. Downs being that you have to win on third down. That's going to be crucial. If Liberty runs a football, does get behind the chains, and wins on third down, they're going to have a great opportunity to win the football game. And then I think defensively, it's those stops we talk, those short yardage stops on the other side. Put Bowling Green in third and long situations so you can get off the field.
Sounds good, Joe. Where'd you hear it first?
Hey, Jauch Talk,
Jauch Talk, baby. We'll see how it goes this week at Bowling Green, Emily.
Thanks, guys. Can't wait to see how this team responds this week. You know, when it comes to the Flames defense, Christian Bodnar has become a key piece to this Liberty secondary. It took a lot of hard work and discipline for the redshirt sophomore to earn his spot. So last season, when he experienced a rare life-threatening medical condition, Christian used that same determination to persevere and get back on the field for the Flames.
We had a Tuesday game against Kennesaw State.
Flat kick.
So we were practicing on a Sunday. And on that Sunday practice, you know, I'm normal Christian. I'm out there with the team. I'm excited. Just normal me. The next morning, I woke up and it just felt like I had a serious migraine on the left side, the back left side of my head. I was at the ER for the next week. I'm from Tampa, Florida. My first ever sport actually was the real football, soccer. But when tackle football was introduced to me, I just fell in love with it. I think some had always been in me to play football, if I'm being honest. I've been playing ever since then.
Years later, Christian Bodnar would have the opportunity to play at the highest level of collegiate football as a defensive back for the Liberty Flames. His breakout performance would come under the bright lights of Williams Stadium on October 8th, 2024.
I started my first ever career college start against FIU.
From the Flames 18, 2 receivers each way, balls on the right.
Coach called nickel blitz, so it's my play call is for me. When he called it, I looked at my boy CJ Brazil, and I told him, star right. I'm going to the right. That's the first thing I got to do is tell him where I'm going. So once I told him where I was going, the second thing that came in my head is I'm about to win this game.
It's Lexington Joseph, no, but blown up. Ball is loose. Liberty wins the game on the hit in the sack. Christian Bodnar.
I timed the snap, and I went right on time, and I hit him.
Oh, the ball's batted down. No handoff. It's on the turf. The game is over. Game is over.
That's definitely the biggest moment in my career so far as a Liberty Flame.
Winners make plays, boys.
Yes, sir.
Winners make plays.
Riding an all-time high, Christian would spend the following bye week preparing for the Flames' next opponent on October 23rd. But just 2 days before they were to meet Kennesaw State, Christian would wake up with strange symptoms.
I went to go drink some water. The second I picked up the water bottle, it was about 10, 15 pounds in this hand is what the water felt like. And then it felt normal in my left hand.
I got a phone call. He said that the way he termed it, gravity was taking over his right side of his body. He gradually was not able to lift his arm or his leg.
I knew something wasn't right. I was like, maybe I didn't get enough sleep. So I went back to sleep. I woke up, Coach Fearball just called me to let me know I wasn't in the meeting that I was supposed to be in, that I had no clue we had. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, Coach, I just got a headache, but I'll be up there. I need to go see Elias."
When he came in, and it was a very odd presentation of what he was feeling, but it was only on the one side. So to me, that was a little bit obviously a red flag. You're having, motor weakness, having some neurological stuff too as well. We did an evaluation on him, and we said we need to get a CT scan. That was our next step. We need to go to the emergency room because that was the fastest way that we could get it done.
When they told me I had to go to the ER, I'm just thinking about the game. Like, I have a game to play, so I know we had to leave to go to Kennesaw. I was like, if I got to admit myself into the ER, I'm going to miss when we go on Tuesday. And that was the only thing I was really worried about.
But unfortunately, Christian would have much bigger obstacles ahead.
I remember getting to the hospital room, and I was in shock. He was in the fetal position in the hospital bed, and he looked helpless. And I do remember the same day, probably within 3 hours, they did a spinal tap, which is extremely painful. He didn't move. He actually didn't move. I don't think he even knew that they were doing it.
It was wild that after we went to the emergency room, within about, I want to say, 3 or 4 hours that afternoon, drastically changed. It was like so crazy how fast it was a snowball effect. He literally went from walking to the train that afternoon to that following morning when I saw him at 7 in the morning. He could not get out of bed and he could barely speak.
I didn't have no problem going downstairs, but like coming up the stairs.
That's whenever I started realizing, like, I had a self-talk to myself, like, man, you need to just sit down, like, and chill, because at that point I couldn't even walk. So why am I even thinking about football?
I know the point that where I realized it was extremely serious was the first day that they tried to do physical therapy with him.
Your brain's not communicating to this leg and that right on.
You know, they had to physically lift his leg up for him. And afterwards, somebody came to meet with my daughter and talk about him transferring to an inpatient facility to live.
After countless tests and about 3 days of waiting, results revealed what was wrong with Christian.
They finally were like, okay, he has post-infectious encephalitis. When your central nervous system gets attacked and they think it's getting attacked by a virus, all I had was just a normal cold, but my central nervous system took it as if it was a virus, and it attacked my brain and caused my brain to swell.
You got it.
Christian would immediately start taking medications to help with his condition, but he was still unable to walk on his own.
What can you do with that right leg? Pick it way up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You got it, you got it.
I had one moment where I just sat there and I was just frustrated.
How you feeling? Woozy, tired, frustrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, bad.
Just a deep exhaust, like, am I going to be able to play football again? And I truly didn't know.
All right, what's our goal here? You want to see if we can walk around to that side of the bed, sit, and then come back around to this chair?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, Christian, he's been really, really tough his whole life. And sometimes you don't know as a grandparent when he needs a hug. So all you can do is try and be there for him.
Yeah, your brain's kind of fighting you there, so it's okay. It's working hard.
The next day, I woke up and my right leg was moving. Whenever they came back in there, it was moving.
Kick it back out. There you go. There it is.
Part of it was a miracle. I mean, let's face it.
Throw that punch again.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I remember the one day when he was in bed and he was able to lift his arm up and like throw a punch. And it was an ugly punch, but he was able to do it. I think that's when he actually had a smile on his face because he could see some progression that, you know, he was going to get through this.
Take your time. I promise you don't even have to hold my hand.
All right, well, I'm holding it.
It was crazy the change in how different he went from one day to the next. And I think it speaks a lot to Christian's determination and a lot of his fight, because there was things that he was doing. They were like, well, we're not quite ready. He's like, oh, I'm going to keep trying. You know, that's just his attitude.
Never one time did he say, why me?
I hope you understand how amazing that is.
It is.
I think most people in that position would be asking God, you know, why is this happening to me? He never ever said that, not one time.
Football is really everything to me. Without football, I don't know where I would be at. But that situation did have me, you know, thinking more about life itself. You know, life's more than football. Football is just, you know, a little chapter of your life. You never know what's going to happen. One day you could be at practice, and the next day you could be in a hospital bed not being able to walk. So it just really taught me to be grateful for, you know, for everything.
After 326 days, Christian would step back on the field for the Flames.
I definitely believe God has given me a second chance to, you know, do what I want to do.
I mean, I couldn't be any prouder than I am. This has been just, you know, one more part of the testimony he's able to share with other people and hopefully influence other people based off of his journey.
Great job on this feature, Emily. I don't think
you.
any of us knew the extent of how bad it was for Christian. We remember the play against FIU, and then just hearing, well, he's sick. I don't think anybody knew the extent of this illness.
No, it's super scary. And I just want to mention, he didn't get through it alone.
Yeah.
Teammates and coaches coming every day to support him and encourage him to get through this. So happy to see him fully healed and back on the field.
Yeah, it's borderline miraculous that he's back on the field making plays this season after all he's been through.
All right, let's take it to the pitch. The Flames began the week unbeaten on the season. Can they keep it going against Longwood at home? The short answer, yes.
Okay.
Less than 3 minutes into the match, Lucas Kelly buried his 4th goal of the year, and Liberty was off and running. The score would remain 1-0 until the 77th minute. Elijah John scoring his first goal of the season and giving the Flames a little bit more breathing room, Matt. The Lancers would find the net late in this contest, but it wouldn't matter. Liberty wins it 2-1 and improves to 4-0-1 to begin the year.
All right, let's stay on the pitch, but turn to the ladies. One of the things we love to do here at Flame Central is give you an inside look at what our athletes experience on a daily basis. So we're starting a new series called Gameday Behind the Scenes that will focus on all different programs and how they prepare to take the field. This week, we're highlighting women's soccer.
Hey guys, my name is Elise Graff. I'm a senior on the Liberty Women's Soccer team, and I'm walking to class today. Women's soccer, we like to give every player on the opposite team a note card. Usually we'll introduce ourselves and try to just connect on some way with the other player. Maybe something we've gone through, or just talk about our testimony and share the gospel and maybe a Bible verse.
Best case scenario, this is your new best friend. What's the hope here?
The hope is she follows me on Instagram. Going to class, catch you at Queens.
Hey guys, this is Margaret. I'm a sophomore on the women's soccer team. Right now we're just doing some pregame Norm Tech boots just to get the blood flowing, get the legs ready. This has all the secret plays, pregame notes, so we're just going over those. We also got my little vision board. After this, I'm gonna go to Nautical, get the pregame meal. You'll see they have the best food ever.
Sponsored?
Sponsor us, please. Gotta get a Nautical bowl. And then we'll head back for chapel, and it's game time after that. All right, I'm about to put y'all on the best Nautical bowl. Gotta get the cruiser size.
Cruiser Naughty Bowl.
Naughty Bowl, replace the pitaya for blue base, add strawberries.
Got it.
Fire. Got the goods, off to Team Chapel.
Hey guys. So Psalm 119:46 says, I will speak to kings about your laws, and I will not be ashamed. Psalm 119:42 says, and I can answer those who taunt me, for I trust in your word. I got from this spending time in God's word. It gives me the tools, and the Holy Spirit gives me the courage to share the word boldly. If we know what we believe, and we're constantly in God's word and in his presence, we can defend what we believe and share what we believe. You should have this fire to share with everyone. This life-changing truth.
You know this is their big game. So we've got to come out and be able to match that energy right from the beginning with good intelligence. All right, let's go get them. Come on.
Final score of today's match is Queens 1 and your Liberty Flames 4.
Hey guys. What's up? My name's Grace Workman. Just want to thank y'all for driving up here to play us. My career has been super up and down as far as minutes goes. But if your faith is in something bigger than your sport, then God is bigger than all of that, and so you can have hope and joy. And we all are giving you note cards. They have our phone numbers on them. If y'all want to reach out and you want to know what it looks like to have a relationship with Jesus, we'd love to chat with you about that. But again, just thank y'all so much for coming up here. And just want to remind y'all that like you're worth so much more than like what you do out here on the field.
Thanks to our Josh Quigg for producing that piece. Cool look inside the Liberty women's soccer program. All right, Rhett McGibbon's here. You know what that means. Warm, hot, and fuego, top player moment from Liberty Athletics over the past week. And understand you have a theme for us this week, Rhett.
Brought the themes back.
Okay.
National Swap Ideas Day.
Swap Ideas Day. What exactly does that mean?
I think it's just sharing information.
Oh, we're just
getting a little
sharing
bit
ideas.
tidbit.
Not like you're saying I have an idea, but I'll trade it with you for your idea.
I guess you could do that. Like that is, I guess, technically a swap. Maybe this should be National Steal Ideas Day.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that might be.
All right, well, let's start it off with your warm athlete.
All right, here. This is actually a team. Men's soccer, 4-0-1 right now. Swapping ideas. Ivy Garner must be talking to junior defenseman Lucas Kelly. Because Buddy, in the last 2 years of play, have only had 1 goal. Already in 5 games this year, has 4 goals on the year. He is just lighting the lamp, if you will. Okay, if I want to steal a hockey term.
You just swapped another idea.
There you go. This men's soccer team, so much fun to watch. They're a gritty group. You know, last year I think they had a lot of skill. The heart factor, though, this season is through the roof. I really enjoyed watching these guys just diving in front of balls like this past game against Longwood. Carlos Trott, it's like a wide open net. They're blasted in there. Somehow he gets his leg in front of it, and Buddy is just going nuts in the net because he stops a surefire goal. When you look at it through, Tyler Beck, coming out of Jefferson Forest High School, a local kid. He's been a stud so far. Sam Farner, 3 goals on the season. They're doing it by committee. I've loved watching them again so far.
An exciting group. Hopefully maybe a program that's turning the corner.
Yes.
We certainly hope so this year, the way they're playing.
Sure.
All right, from warm, we go to hot.
All right, we go to the gridiron, and this is the law firm of Dickinson Williams. The 2 young backs for this Liberty Flames group. I think
were you injured at work? Have you been injured at work?
Right, yeah.
Call Dickinson Williams.
Yeah, exactly. Rashad Jennings must have been chatting with these guys, giving them some ideas. Because you look at Dickens, 13 carries, 114 yards, another touchdown, averaging 8.8 per carry. Had one that was 52 yards. And then Williams, I saw him sit a kid down. Love to see that, using the strength, a 4.9 average, a 25-yarder. These 2 backs have been a lot of fun to watch. And I think you're in good shape. Like, a lot of people worried, like, okay, are we going to be able to get it done running the ball with Cooley gone? These 2 young guns have proven their worth.
Have you had adverse effects from using Roundup? Call Dickinson Williams. All right, these are the guys. These are the guys. I love it. All right, finally, Rhett and Fuego. Who is it?
All right, Josefina Tomasi. This young lady, I whipped that out there pretty good, right?
Smooth.
Yeah, thank you. I think she's been talking to Jill Bolton. Because you just look at some of the goals she's scoring. Currently right now, Big East Offensive Player of the Week. Number 3 on ESPN SportsCenter's top 10 with the reverse special. Now, there's not many times, Matt, we've been doing this for like over a decade now, right? And you sometimes getting the goosebumps is getting a little bit harder as you get old because you see so many special things. Had the goosebumps on this goal. She gets it right inside the box, just turns around and basically goes bar down with an absolute beauty. What a goal that was. And hey, field hockey, top 10 in the nation right now. These young ladies, a young group of girls.
I was going to say, a lot of new faces we're learning about as we go.
Yeah, they basically have the Argentinian U20 team on this group. They are a threat. Watch out.
Absolutely. Rhett, great job as always. We appreciate it. With more, we send it back over to Emily.
Thanks, guys. All right, let's take it back to the gridiron for an exclusive sit-down interview with QB1 Ethan Vasko. As you may know, Vasko transferred in from Coastal Carolina, and in just 2 games with the Flames, he's already thrown for more than 500 yards and recorded 5 total touchdowns. But there's a lot more to learn about the new guy under center, and Matt Warner had the chance to find out.
All right, we're getting to know first-year Liberty quarterback Ethan Vasko. Ethan, first off, coming here to Liberty, what was it about Jamie Chadwell, quarterbacks coach Willie Korn, that made you want to come here, even though the starting job wasn't promised to you at the time?
Yeah, I think the big thing was just trusting in them. And coming out of high school, I had built a relationship with Coach Korn and Coach Chadwell a good amount. So then leaving Kansas and going to Coastal, I talked to them as well then. So this time going to the portal, it was kind of a little bit easier to make the decision, and then knowing what kind of offense that they run, how it can fit my skill set, and just trusting in myself that I could come here and make a name and then fight for the starting job.
Yeah, people see, a quarterback, they watch the game, they look at the stats, they say, oh, that's a good quarterback based on that. For you, though, what is it that we don't see that you think makes a good quarterback a great quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's just the preparation and how they can lead the guys. I mean, I think the big thing at the quarterback position is just being able to lead everyone around you and be able to have belief. And especially when things are going wrong, a lot of guys just look at the quarterback. And that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't see is when things are going great, you need a guy who can lead the team around you, and then people can rally around you. You don't want a team that when things are going bad, the quarterback shuts down, and then the rest of the team shuts down. So you need a guy that can lead, and then how they prepare throughout the week, every single day at practice, coming in and out, and just being able to really see how they work, and then the rest of the team kind of follows with them.
All right, we've talked to some Liberty defensive players, and they've told us you play with a little more of an edge than a lot of quarterbacks. They said he's not sliding. He wants to run you over. There's a lot of trash talk involved. Where does that edge come from for you?
I don't know. I mean, I think whenever I first got into football, the number one thing I always loved I started when I was 5 years old. So I think the number one thing was always just hitting people. And,
no matter what position you're playing.
Yeah, no matter what position. So whenever I was younger, we played in like a double wing offense. So I was under center, tossing the ball, and I would be the lead blocker, and I loved it. So I think just having that mentality all throughout whenever I was younger and stuff. And I always think delivering the blow is a little bit better than having the blow delivered to you. I think when you play that way, guys also, they'll follow you, and they really love it, like especially your O-line. I mean, I think when you go out there and you're low on your shoulder, I think those guys respect it, and they kind of love seeing it from you.
Now, you're also, is it fair to call you TikTok famous? Is that a fair description? Like I looked it up, like 40,000 followers. You have a video with over 2 million views.
Yeah.
Could you describe for people what that video is?
Yeah, so it was actually during like really around COVID time, and my whole family had gotten COVID around Christmas. So we're just sitting in the house, and my sister saw this like little kid throwing like a styrofoam football and hitting a bottle, and she was like, "I wonder if you can do this." So
Yeah.
all right. So we go outside, and I'm probably like 35 yards away.
You launched it.
Yeah. So I threw it, and we were like, if it looks like it's gonna hit you in the head, like the guy behind the camera will tell you. And so he thought it was good, and then it just hit her right in the head. So it was pretty funny, and it ended up going viral after that, which I kind of felt bad, but she was like, "Don't post it," because I looked bad, and we ended up posting it, and it went super viral. So it's awesome though. It's so funny.
Last thing for you, as you look at this season, how do you grade what a successful season would be? How do you determine that in your mind?
Yeah, I think just getting better every week and just going out there and playing our best every single week, not having a game where we go out and don't play up to our standard. I think that's the number one thing. Is it's not about wins and losses at the end of the day. It's if we give our best every single game and we feel that way, and we can feel confident saying if it's a win or a loss that we played our best. I think for me, it's how I prepare every single week and how I go after every game, and knowing that if I prepared the way I should, if I feel confident in how I played, and knowing that deep in my heart, if I played that way, I know that it's because I prepared. And then same with the team, just going out there and playing to our standard and just going out there and playing our best. I think that's the number one thing.
Yeah, Ethan, appreciate the time. Great to have you here on the mountain. Good luck the rest of the season.
Awesome, thank you.
His poor sister might still be in concussion protocol.
The TikTok version of Marsha.
Yeah. All right, hey, we're about out of time. Before we go, though, we have to update our Flames Fantasy League standings.
We do?
I guess so.
We do. Remember last week when I was riding an all-time high with my team? Well, that crashed and burned quickly. Good thing it's a long season, and good thing Jauch is no longer in the studio, and that segment was earlier.
Letting you hear about it.
The defending champ, I mean, what is that? He's off to a really good start. You made a jump.
I did. I moved past you in week 2, so we'll see. Long way to go. Long way to go. We're not panicking just yet. Hey, I do want to mention this. This time of the show next week, we plan to be showing a picture of your little girl.
I hope so.
Do what you need to do
to
make that happen for us. In the meantime, you can go to libertyflamescentral.com to watch any stories that you might have missed.
Hey, you never know. I might be on the Flame Central podcast on Monday. You never know. So be sure to check it out. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you here next week.